Hello friends, this is Auto Innovators. Today we are going to see how clutch works in car. Clutch mechanism is used to engage or disengage the engine power to the gearbox, and it also used to connect the driving shaft to a driven shaft. Let's see how hydraulic clutch works in car. We know that before shifting the gears in manual transmission car, we press the clutch pedal from driver's side, and this pedal connected to push rod. And this push rod pushes the piston connected to master cylinder. The piston moves within the master cylinder and compresses the hydraulic fluid, stored in reservoir tank, for building up pressure. The fluid in reservoir tank should be maintained at maximum. The pressure is transmitted through the high-pressure fluid line pipe. Hydraulic fluid used for actuation is usually brake fluid. The high-pressure brake fluid is transmitted to the slave cylinder and pushes the release bearing. The pushing forces applies on the diaphragm spring. Clutch release bearing is responsible for allowing the clutch to engage the engine and disengage. Release bearing applies pressure to the diaphragm spring of the pressure plate. We will see the detail parts and function in clutch. First we remove the release bearing. The bearing rides on the diaphragm spring as we press down on the clutch pedal. The clutch release bearing causes the pressure plate to engage the clutch disc. The pressure plate pushes the clutch plate onto the flywheel due to diaphragm spring pressure. The role of the diaphragm spring is to keep the clutch closed, and it is placed between the pressure plate and the cover pressing. Second, we dismantle pressure plate and diaphragm spring. The diaphragm spring is a steel disc having a hole at the center, and the inner portion of the disc is radially slotted so that a number of actuating fingers located. The outer ends which distribute the concentrated stresses created during deflection of the fingers. The clutch disc is the driving member of the clutch. It consists of two friction plate material mounted on steel cushion springs. The facing and cushion springs are riveted to a spring-based disc and spring retainer plate, which are slotted for the insertion of the torsion spring. These springs contact the hub flanges that fit between the spring retainer plate and the disc and serve to transmit the twisting force applied to the facings to the splined hub. The spring action serves to reduce torsional vibrations and shocks between the engine and the transmission during clutch operation. Clutch disc consists of several parts. Outer part is cover plate. Next is hub. The internal splines of the clutch hub fit over the external splines of the transmission input shaft, allowing the clutch hub to move back and forth smoothly. Springs are contacted with hub flange, and it is used to reduce torsional vibrations during transmission when it attached to flywheel. The clutch disc is the connecting link between the engine and the transmission. A clutch disc provides a large surface area made of friction material on both sides. In the center, a damper assembly absorbs torsional vibration. Friction material is riveted to the cushion plate on both sides. Let's see how clutch works. During neutral gear condition, a clutch is engaged with the engine. When a driver presses the clutch lever for changing gears, release bearing is pushed into diaphragm spring and pressure plate is disengaged. Same way when driver releases foot pedal from clutch pedal, release bearing is released and pressure plate engaged with friction plate. The flywheel is connected to the engine's crankshaft. It drives the clutch by providing a friction surface for the clutch disc. It is a large metal disc that stores and releases energy pulses from the crankshaft. For further details, contact us. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.